record on this computer. Recording in progress. Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our first power plan of April. And you're gonna laugh because I meant to do this before. So I got a new calendar that I'm using because for those of you in boot camp, you'll understand why I needed a new calendar. But I forgot to do the desktop one and like rip it off. So you're all gonna get to watch that while that happens. We're gonna make it April together. You guys, it's Thrive Palooza week. Who is going? Tell me in the chat if you're going. I will be there. I guess I don't need to put that in the chat. Whose face am I going to see? And if you're not able to go, I'm hoping, I haven't seen anything yet. Me. Has anybody seen anything like a virtual ticket yet or anything like that? I know they've done that in the past. I didn't know if anybody had seen that yet. So if you see that pop, like if you see it pop up in your email or something, spread the word because, like even being at Thrive Palooza, sometimes I wish I had the ability to like go back and watch it like that night or at lunch. Because, sometimes you get into someone's story or you have to get up and pee and then you miss part of it. Courtney, we're going to miss you, but it's okay. I will still love you. It's just part of the deal. Okay, now that my big calendar is on April and my little calendar is on April and we got all this stuff together, let's get started with our week. Okay, we're going to start. Oh, here's, I lost my phone. All right, I want you guys to get logged in. We're going to do your rate of run, but it's only the 3rd of the month. So what we're going to do, hoping for virtual. Yeah. Oh, Courtney and Sonia, if they do a virtual, you girls should get together. You would be a blast. Maybe you shouldn't get together because you probably wouldn't get your work done. But that would be fun. You guys could totally watch it together. So, how normally we get into our cloud and we're like, okay, here's how much we've sold. Here's where we want to go. Well, it's only the 3rd of the month. Not that some of you don't have some volume under you, but that's not really going to be the most accurate way for us to do this. What I want to do instead is basically the reverse. Excuse me. So what I want you to do is take a calculator. Wow. Take your calculator. You can tell me, or you can just type it into your calculator. What is your goal volume for the month? So like, let's say last month you did $14,000. So this month you're aiming for $20,000. So let's take the goal. I'm just going to use 20,000 as an example. So you're going to put $20,000 into your calculator and you're going to divide that by 31 because there are 31 days in May. So that means every day in May, you and your team need to sell $645 on average every day to get to that goal. So what I do is I then take that dollar amount, that goal, and I look at the whole month. And so if you look at the month of May, how convenient, it started on a Sunday. Not May, geez, Pete, it's April. Is everyone with me? It's April. See, I already have my calendar flipped to May because I was already doing some planning for May. Okay, my bad. There's only 30 days in April. You know what? Just delete everything I just said. Everything. Take $20,000, divide it by 30 because there's, oh shoot, I did it again. There's
math is hard, people.
What'd you say? Math is hard? Yes, math is hard. Is there any way to like delete the first few minutes? Anyway, $20,000, you're going to divide it by 30 because there are 30 days in April. Oh, I don't like that dollar amount. You need $667 a day on average as a team to get to the 20K mark. So what I then do is I look at the calendar. And so we have Friday and Saturday, that was the 1st and the 2nd. So if you were to take 667 times 2, on Saturday the 2nd, I would put $1,334. And I write that on my calendar. So on the 2nd, I can glance really quick and be like, okay, are we anywhere near $1,334? And then the next Saturday is the 9th. So I would take the $667, multiply it by 9. So now I know by the 9th, I need $6,000. So don't use my math. Use your own math. But so take your goal, whatever your goal is. If your goal is 40K, if your goal is 50K, if your goal is $1,000, whatever your goal is for the month, you're going to divide it by 30. And then I recommend putting weekly tick marks basically in your calendar so that at a glance you can look really quickly. So anyway, you guys do that. I'm going to do mine real quick. Okay. That's easy math. Ooh. I added one too many zeros. Okay. All right. So why do I like to do that? Because I'm anal retentive and I like to know what I should be aiming for at all times. Not that we won't get in here next Sunday and we won't figure this out the other direction, but I like looking at my calendar and knowing, okay, by this day, this is what we're shooting for. It helps me mentally just stay on track. It also helps me because, like, let's say that I look on, maybe I check my numbers this upcoming Saturday where we're at Palooza and I look and I'm like, dang, we're not where we need to be. Then I know I need to push like the next few days. I could be like, okay, not where I need to be. So Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, I'm going to run a promo with my team. Or Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, I'm going to offer an incentive to my customers. Like, that's how I decide what to do. All the zeros. I added too many zeros. I did. It was an exciting number. Don't get me wrong. But also a little panicky that, because I was like, wow, we have to have all that by the 16th of the month. Maybe it was Freudian, or like maybe it was the universe being like, no, girl, add another zero. This is where we're going. I like that. Okay, so now that we have that set and ready, let's just do a quick peek, right? Today's the 3rd, so let's open your cloud. I was in it and I'm not now. All right, so we're going to go to the cloud. On that very first page, as soon as you log in, you're going to roll down till you see business snapshot. Click the gray bar with the arrow so it drops down. From there, you're going to see your PPA. You're going to see a gray bar that says qualifications. Under that qualification gray bar, look for current QV, and it's going to tell you where you should be. Now compare that to the number you wrote down for Saturday, or do the math and figure out what you should be at today. Are you on track? I am not. Just so y'all know. All right. And so I get it. Like, we have auto ships coming up. I mean, I get it. There's April Mania happening. I understand, but I always like to look at the numbers without things like auto ships and promos and things like that, because what is, where are you truly with your business? So to me, that number is just a driving force. I don't let that number get under my skin. I don't let it, I am not, my worthiness as a leader or as a human is not connected to that number in any way, shape, or form. The only thing connected to that number is my paycheck. And I like for my paychecks to be bigger than smaller. So that's why I stay focused on that paycheck, or on that dollar amount. Okay. So next up, I'm a fish out of water with this little calendar. I think I'm going to have to use the big calendar only for power plans because it just works better. All right. So we have, speaking of, our first auto ship is coming out on Tuesday. So we're going to stay in the cloud, or we're going to get back in the cloud. And I hope you guys have your 5, 4, 3, 2, 1s with you. This video thing is, that is a used one. I need to clean one for today, for this week. I hope you have a clean 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 with you, or if, whatever sheet of paper you're going to use. All right. So we're going to get into the cloud again. Do you guys get kicked out when you're on your phone? It drives me nuts. Okay. This time on that main page in the upper right corner, you're going to hit where it's the 3 lines. You're going to hit that menu and you're going to open up the big menu. From there, you're going to click my team. Once you hit that, you're going to hit my customer. Down at the top where it says customer number, customer name, email, scroll all the way to the right as far as you can possibly go. You're going to see a box that says next auto ship. Actually click that box twice. Now it's going to show you upcoming auto ships by date. Oh, I have one. This is why we check this stuff. I have a girl, God love her. She's gone in and changed her date, which we discussed, but she's somehow hit it for April 25th of 2023. So I'll make myself a little note right now to let her know. Okay. So anybody that you see says April 5th or even an April 10th, you're going to write their name down. If it says April 5th, I'm going to encourage you to write their name down right now and talk to them after we get off of here. If it says the 10th, you can go ahead and put them on your follow-up for Monday on your 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 sheet. because they need to be contacted some way, shape, or form. And the way I say this every week, so for those of you that suffer through it with me every week, here we go. Please do not just send a message and say, hey, your auto ship is coming out on Tuesday. Just wanted to remind you, because that's, that's like if Duke called you and said, hey, just want to let you know, we're dropping that big bill in 2 days. Hope you're happy about it. Like that would make you like turn off all the lights or turn off, you're like, right, you wouldn't want to spend any money. So my preferred method is to peek on them, go back into the last time you messaged them, and when you were a messenger or you were a text messenger or wherever it was you were talking to them, what was going on in their world? What was the discussion you had? I know a lot of you are like, I only have a few customers, but you're going to reach a point where you're like, I forgot last month before that auto ship, this gal and I talked about how she wanted to try the new shake flavor. And wow, I haven't really followed up with her. I don't really know if she liked it or not. Well, now's your chance. Hey, how'd that shake go? Like get the conversation started. Or maybe last month she was really struggling with her energy and she hadn't been taking her Thrive consistently. So, hey, how's it going now that you've been doing it consistently? How are you feeling? Then at some point it's going to lead you into the, okay, well, good. I'm glad you're feeling good. Or I'm glad you like that shake. Or, hey, since you didn't like it, let's change your auto ship. Like then you can get that conversation started. It just comes from a much more personal perspective. Hey, new shake flavors. Yeah. Oh yeah. Thank you. The new shake flavors, like all of them, the vegan and then the brownie and then the snickerdoodle and then the caramel, that you can get them in the packs now. So like Glenna said, that is a perfect follow-up. As a matter of fact, I'm going to steal that, Glenna. We're going to use that tonight on this power plan. Thank you. Okay. So you got your auto shippers written down for the 4th and the 10th, and you know to go in there and find out what's going on with them. So they can decide what they need. And remember, don't panic if someone says, oh, I can't do it on the 5th this month. I had a big bill come out, or I was sick and didn't take 2 weeks. It's okay. Let's push it to the 10th. Let's push it to the 15th. You have options, like walk them through the options. Don't let them push it off to 2023 though, like my girl did. We'll fix that. Okay. So with Glenna's comment and mine, let's get back in the cloud. All right, so from here, I want you to go, you're going to basically do the same thing. Main menu, go to my team, go to my customers. Now this time, instead of scrolling all the way over, I want you to scroll over to where it says last order and hit that bad boy twice. So now it's going to show you who ordered most recently. I want you to, for Monday through possibly Wednesday, it depends on how many people you have in your list. Anyone that ordered last month, anyone that placed an order last month, I want those names to go in the follow-up category on your 54321 sheet. And you are going to follow up exactly what Glenna said. Hey, the new shake flavors are now in the 4-week pack. Do you need more details? Do you want me to, should we change up your auto ship? Or just wanted you to know, or, however you want to word it, but you're going to put those people's names. I'm going to do it at the same time. So why is it so great to write these names down now? Because tomorrow when you're like, oh my God, I need to get my 54321 sheet done and I don't know what to say or who to talk to, you'll know who to talk to. We're writing names down right now, and you're going to let them know that there are 4 new shake flavors that they can pick from in the 4-week pack that they've been purchasing. Okay, so you guys can keep writing, but I'm going to throw out another suggestion for you also, because this is something that we all hear a lot. I have what I call non-promoting promoters, and I'm sure some of you have them too. They are people who at one point in time wanted to be a promoter. Maybe they were a promoter, or maybe they just clicked that button because you had some sort of deal going on your promoter pack. They also need to be treated like customers. They are not, checking the cloud to see if stuff's added to packs. They're not excited when Lavelle sends them an email like we are. So for that one, you would go to my team button again. And this time you're going to go into your sponsorship downline. And at the very top, it gives you options. It says in the gray bar, it says sponsorship downline for Tammy, but it'll say your name. So level 1, those are the people that you signed up. Okay, so you're going to leave it at level 1. Now in the box that says promoter number, click the arrow, and it's kind of tricky because we're early on, but I would just go ahead and hit current QV. And then on the next box, the third box, pick it really won't matter, descending or ascending at that point. If you do descending, the people who have volume under them are going to pop up first. If you do ascending, people who don't have volume will pop up first. But I'm going to go through this list of promoters. I actually sorted mine by descending because for me, it's really easy to look at the names right away and be like, yep, she's a promoter. She's a promoter. Like these are legit promoters. These are people I deal with all the time, talk to them all day long. Then I get so far down, I'm like, oh, boom, there's one of them. She hasn't ordered in a while. Oh, boom, there's one. She stopped doing shakes because they hurt her belly. These are the people who I'm going to start also putting on my follow-up list. And I'm going to let them know as well, hey, in the packs now, you can get the different shake flavors. Hey, gal who hates the shakes and swears they make her sick, the vegan is now available in these packs. I'm just going to let them know. And part of that is just good customer service, you guys, because again, we think that because we read the emails or we get on the Zooms and we're learning, you got people on your team right now who don't even know what Zoom is. Even after 2020, they don't know what Zoom is. And that's okay. Like, that's not what they're here for. They, like we've always told people, you can be a customer or a promoter, and they can, but it's our job to remember that non-promoting promoters are glorified customers. So there is a wealth of non-promoting promoters in my downline, like personally and people under me, of untapped potential, because people are like, well, they dropped off, they quit thriving. Like, do we know why they quit thriving? Do we know why they dropped off? Have we had conversations with them? Have you talked to them in a year and a half? And again, I don't if it's someone who you have not spoken with in forever, don't just dive in there and talk to them about the new shake packs. Start a conversation. I haven't talked to you in forever. How are you doing? Peek on them, peek on their social media, like go see where they, like all of Lebanon, where I'm from, has been on spring break for a week. So you can just pop open Facebook, and most local people have been someplace fabulous. And you could easily go in and be like, oh my gosh, I saw your pictures from Clearwater. It looks so great. Where did you stay? Like, get a conversation started. Treat them the same way you would treat a customer who you haven't talked to in forever. And then, maybe it'll, like, sometimes it's weird, like, especially with non-promoting promoters, because sometimes they'll be the first ones like, oh my gosh, it was a great vacation. I've been thinking about you. I really got to start thriving again. I don't know if they say it because they mean it or if they say it because they feel guilty, but by golly, when they say it, I run with it. I'm like, you're right, girl. We need to get you thriving again. Like, and then I would be like, here's the best time to do it too, because we have these new flavors you can pick from, like something like that. And then sometimes it won't come up at all, and that's okay. Don't bring it up, but still stay in contact with them. To me, that is a follow-up. I'm still staying in contact, because eventually maybe somebody, maybe somebody says, oh, vacation was great, but I slept horrible. I've not been able to sleep lately, blah, blah, blah. Oh, really? We have these new sleep gummies. Like, and again, I'm not going to jump on top of them and like, flip the script really quick on them, but I got to know what's going on in their life if I'm going to figure out how to help them. So I feel like I preach the same thing. I don't know if you guys have recurring nightmares about my power plans at this point. I have no idea. Okay, so we got our follow-ups for the next several days. Some of you probably have a whole week's worth of follow-ups based on what I just told you. So thank you for that, Glenna. And some of you may not have but a day or two, but that's okay. Because if you've been on my power plans for a while, even if I just rattled off stuff and you're like, well, I don't have that for my follow-ups, you should have passed 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 that you can be pulling names off of. So at this point, I would say go back 4 to 6 weeks, look at who you talked to. Hopefully you've made some sort of note, or just pull up the old message. Like this gal right here, Stephanie. I don't remember what me and Stephanie talked about, to be honest with you, but I can pull up Messenger right now and I can pull up our chat and I can be like, yep, all right. And I'm going to follow back up with Stephanie. I'm going to ask her something else. So again, I would go back 4 to 6 weeks, because those are people you haven't talked to in a while, and put some of those names on for your follow-ups this week if you don't have the non-promoting promoters and the people who haven't ordered for a while. Okay, so let me talk about real quick, and I know I have 5 reorders from, yes, downline reach outs, yes. Lindsay, will you be a little more specific? Were those people who had kind of fallen off the face of the earth? Or I don't see her face. Oh, you maybe cannot be more. Oh.
Say that again. What was the question?
What? So you did downline reach outs for those people who you had lost touch with, or people who, like, why did they order now?
I would say a combination of both. I've been following up with like free accounts, people that have ordered in the past that haven't ordered, the people that ordered 1 month, the non-promoting promoters. I've kind of dug in their downline and just sent a simple message and said, hey, I didn't know if you knew, remember my famous little graphic with all the new things? And they were like, no, I'm kind of interested in this. Tell me more. And then it just kind of went from there. So legit 5 new orders in my personal opinion, because they haven't ordered. Some of them were from like 7 years ago, guys, when I started this business.
Yes. Lacey, I think I see her name. Lacey also had that with a couple of people who I forget exactly how she worded it. Basically, she's like, I just decided to get out of my own way. They haven't ordered in a year or so. And I just, started up the conversation and bam, she had 2 people. So it's funny because we obviously give shout outs. We got PPA when you get a new person, but it's almost more exciting to me when you get a person that comes back. And because a lot of times we take stuff personal, like so-and-so dropped off, they stopped ordering. And so we think, well, they hate us. Somehow as humans, we always make it about ourselves. When they quit ordering Thrive, they hate us. They must be talking bad about us. God only knows. When in reality, maybe somebody lost their job. Maybe somebody's having a health crisis. Maybe somebody is just so crazy busy right now that Thrive is not the thing they're thinking of. I have friends that sell jewelry and I'm just like, how that is the last thing that I mean, look at me. Hello. That is the last thing I think about putting on in the morning. So to me, that would be like a horrible thing. Whereas at least we have something where we truly change someone's life within 10 minutes. I do restarter posts with them. Glenna, can you unmute? And tell me what you mean by restarter post. What do you say, GB, Sandra says? Okay, she might not be able to, but if anytime you can unmute, Glenna, let us know. My guess is you're saying you get them to start posting again on social media. Look, we're all like, oh, 1 sec. Okay, now we're all just waiting on Glenna. We're all so excited. No pressure, no pressure. She's having to get up, leave a room, go someplace where she still has Wi-Fi. And you don't even have to show your face. You can just talk if you want. I feel like we should have music playing. Here she comes. We see you. Okay, perfect.
First you're so cute, and you were so right. I was downstairs and had to come up. So restarter post, I've done this several times, and I've only been here 3 years, but still you have the people that they leave you. Maybe it was money, maybe whatever the reason, they left you and they come back. And I think that spring is the season for that, like summer, spring.
Look fine, you're fine.
But the restarter posts are awesome because, and most times I don't even ask them to tag me, but we'll do it. It's like, listen, I did this, it worked, I stopped, felt like shit, I came back.
Yep.
And I can't wait to get going again. And it actually brings a lot of attention. I've had several, and it works. It works because they shout it out, and it's almost like a new validation that they did it, they stopped, and they came back. So it's like double.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, so they make the post themselves and they're just very honest. Mm-hmm. I loved it, but I quit for whatever reason. Yeah. Okay. And so everyone write that down?
And sometimes I have asked somebody to do it, but normally they do it themselves because they're so excited.
Yep.
But I have asked somebody to do it, and it's very powerful because it's making a statement that they did it, they stopped, they knew they needed it back.
Yeah, they actually missed it. How many people are like, no, I really, really miss it.
Right.
I like that. I thank you for that. I'm going to work on some of those this week, because I do feel like you said, spring. I don't know if you guys can feel it. It's in the air. I don't know if it's because we're in boot camp land together, most of us all the time, but things are, well, part of it too is people are worried about summer and wearing shorts and bathing suits or whatever. But people are excited to take care of themselves again. I feel like we're kind of coming out of that winter funk and people want to get rolling again. And so something I hear a lot, when I do go back and I talk to some of these people that dropped off, they're like, well, I stopped taking it because I couldn't get anyone else to buy it. So it's almost like they had made the deal with themselves. I can order this for myself as long as I can get it for free. And I understand that. Like, I love my free Thrive. But so that's where I kind of have to take a step back and be like, you know what? It's okay to be a customer. It's okay. We're going to get you thriving again. We'll get you feeling good again. Like, let's see what kind of deals we have. And then I, pull something off my shelf or out of thin air. And then get them feeling good. And then that's the moment where they, like you said, sometimes they just voluntarily will go and be like, oh my gosh, I'm back on my Thrive. I missed it so much. I'm so glad. And that's honestly more powerful than 4 years ago where they were trying to just throw graphics out on Facebook thinking that meant people were going to buy from them. So I love that. Thank you for that tip and that reminder. Okay, so we have other stuff to go through, but I don't want to run out of time. So Thrive Palooza is officially Friday and Saturday. A lot of people are going to be traveling on Thursday and a lot of people are traveling on Sunday, or at least that's my schedule. So you're going to hear this from me every single time there's an event or a holiday coming up, which guess what? Right after Thrive Palooza, we have Easter coming up the following week. So you're going to hear this 2 weeks in a row. You're welcome. You guys have to front load. You have to front load. That's all there is to it. So as Thrivers, we are going to be distracted because we are going to be in trainings, and I don't want to be sitting in a training thinking I didn't do my reach out yet today. I didn't do my reach out yet today. So, the way I operate, I try to get up early and do them early, but is that a guarantee when you're out of town? I don't, no, not typically, especially at Thrive Palooza. So you got to front load. So if every single day I'm looking at this and, let's say I'm doing, let's say you're looking at this and you're like, I got 5 reach outs on Monday. Well, go ahead and do 6 and 7 and put them on Friday. Put 2 people on Friday. Like, go ahead and front load your calendar and start adding do this stuff ahead of time so that when you are at Thrive Palooza, you can be at Thrive Palooza and not having to be like, oh my gosh, I don't have my homework done for boot camp, or I didn't do, whatever I'm supposed to do. The other thing to think about for those of you that are going to be travel, especially those of you traveling by airplane, which is like my team coming most of, that's a great time to be in your phone batching posts. And no, you're not going to be posting from the air, but you can be in the notes section of your phone and you can be typing out ideas. And sometimes I'll be typing out an idea and I'll think in my head, oh, a picture of XYZ would go great with this. So then I'm like, make sure you get a picture like that at Thrive Palooza, or make sure you get a picture like that. Like, if you're going to make a post about community or loving the people that you get to work with, like, what's a great picture? A group photo. So, you know what I mean? Like, so you start thinking of those things while you're traveling. Another great thing I like to do is personal development while traveling, but I also try to think and plan out some posts, because once Thrive Palooza hits, and again, you're in the room and you're doing all the things, and you leave the room and you're going to dinner, and then you leave dinner and you're trying to Uber back to the hotel. Like, there's just so much going on. This way you don't have to be like, what the hell am I going to post about now? I'm not ready. Like, you have some stuff in your phone ready to go that you can just push out. I know we've talked about batching, and so that is one way for me, I think batching on an airplane is awesome. I will also encourage all of you that are traveling to spend the next couple of days doing a bunch of reels and saving them as your drafts. Like, don't wait because here's the thing, and Courtney is on here, Courtney Summers. She and I are infamous, and I do mean infamous when I say this. Before we go on any kind of trip together, we'll be like, oh my gosh, we're going to make this TikTok together. We're going to make this reel. And then before you know it, you've been on a trip for 7 days and you're home and you're like, you know what? We never did that. We never made that reel. Because why? Because we were on a trip. And so it's going to be like that for those of you at Thrive Palooza. Just do yourself a favor. It's the best gift you can give somebody, yourself being that somebody, and do the work ahead of time before you go, so you're not scrambling. Now, the other reason I think it's so important to be uploading or front loading your calendar and your reach outs, because if you wait until Friday and Saturday to do your regular reach outs, that's okay. But if you're doing extra leading up to it, when something drops, which something will drop, blame it is Mexico's fault for sure. But when like something is dropping, the letter E, there's something coming for sure. I'm sure there'll be other things, but that's the one they've been teasing us with the most. Something is going to drop. That way you've already boosted your algorithm by having all these conversations. You've already got people peaking by having these conversations. If you've been adding your 2 people a day, whether you're hopping into, doing friend requests, or you're following people, or you're doing your reels that are attracting more people that are following you, however it is that you're adding to your network. If you're doing that now, when something drops, you're ready for something to drop. You've got new eyes on your stuff. If you wait until something drops to start doing all the things, you're going to be behind. Like that's the fact of it. You're going to be behind. Like you don't hear people saying, I just opened my business, right? It's I launched my business. Like people launch a business. And what does that mean? That means they did a whole bunch of work before they unlocked the door that day, right? They launched it that day. Like they built this whole thing up. It's like literally the rocket where like the pressure is building and the fire is starting to pour out the bottom, and all this is happening before it ever takes off. You need to have all that happening now. You could do anything from, hey, we've got a big event, there's a new product coming. Like, and I have seen this on like on social media, and that's cool, and that's fine if it works for you, good. I tend to do it in Messenger. Like my people who I know are purchasing, like my promoters who are purchasing, my customers who are purchasing, I'm just like, hey, I'm going to Thrive Palooza this week. And I know there's at least one new product dropping. I'm going to guess there's a couple. Do you want to be on my VIP list? Do you want me to let you know? And then you just start adding those names and put all those names, and just again, save all that crap in your phone. So you have everybody's names, or you have it written down on your paper. And then when E drops, whatever the heck it is, you're like, oh my gosh, it's here. This is what it is. I'm going to tell you more as we find out more. Get people excited. Like I'm excited. I don't know what E is, but I want to know. And I'm going to buy it, whatever it is. Okay. So reach out. You're going to be doing that all week. Follow-ups we have figured out. Social media posts, again, front load. Like tomorrow, if you're making a post and you think of another one, here's the thing. I will go days without any bright ideas, like days. It gets barren up here. And then all of a sudden I'll be in the shower and I'll come up with 4. But you can't post 4 things one after the next. I mean, you can, but that looks a little weird. So when you have that moment, write it down. And then that way you can have it ready. Like you've got, okay, that was my thought I had in the shower. Here's how I would do that post. And you know what? I'm going to write that down for Thursday. And then I already know what I'm going to do. Same with your reels. And you guys, I'm going to harp for just 2 minutes. And I know I'm 3 minutes past time already. Shocker. On the connect with a leader part, because this is something that I think we underutilize a lot. I think I know. And it's something that we've been working a lot with our boot campers on too. And it's something that I personally was working on, or am working on also. To me, the connect to a leader part can be so easy that it just doesn't do anything for you. You could literally be like, well, I watched Tammy's Zoom. I connected with her. Okay, maybe you connected. Maybe you got some new tips today. Maybe you learned something. We could all literally list that we connected with Glenna because Glenna gave us that tip, right? But when you're reaching out and you're doing your leader, like the obvious one is, I connected with Sandra Dilbeck and we did a 3-way chat. So clearly I connected with my leader, right? I connected a customer to my leader. Well, what about when you, I'm going to use Lindsay today. Lindsay was looking through Instagram and she saw a leader who had a really awesome story. And she loved the way it was put together and how it was like the graphics, but it was more like a video graphic. And so she just reached out and was like, hey, how did you make that? And the gal said, unfold. So stuff like that, like when you're reaching out to leaders, learn from them, right? And if you're hooking them up with a customer or whatever, I get it. But otherwise, really learn from each other. I learned so much from you guys. It's unreal. Like literally, and Glenna is the best example of that all. We all could have sent Glenna a message today and be like, hey, what do you do when you follow up with people who fell off? But instead of that, she was on here and she told all of us. So don't just reach out to your leader and be like, hope you had a great day. Or reaching out to your leader and being like, I'm packed and ready for Thrive Palooza. Like, that's great and that's good. Thanks for sharing that information with us, but pick our brain. Like I did a story, and if you aren't learning, you aren't growing. Yes. Like if you see a post and you really like it, or maybe you're confused. Like here's this is one of the best ways to, I think, learn. When you see something that confuses you, right? You're like, I don't understand. What is she saying? Or how does that work? Like maybe you see a team promo or something. You're like, I don't get it. Like, how is this person, or like, so right now, people who are shooting for April Mania, you're going to see some crazy stuff. People are willing to part with their cow and their neighbor's cat to get to, this bonus, right? So you're going to see some stuff and be like, I don't understand. Like, how is she, story of my life, how is she doing this? Or how does that make sense? Ask them. Ask them. That is how you will learn. That's how I've learned more than anything. I just say, look, I love your hustle. And I'm excited about this promo that I saw you talking about for your customers. And I hope it gets you where you want to be, but I don't understand the math. Like, how are you doing this? Like, I would love to offer something like this too. Like, where are you getting that from? A lot of times there's a leader who has thought about a loophole or another level or something that you haven't thought of. So use that to your advantage. Don't just, that is either the category that is left completely blank all the time, or it's the one where it's just like, watch to Zoom, watch to Zoom, watch to Zoom. And I'm not saying you can't learn from Zooms, because clearly we're all here together to learn. But learn more, I guess is my point. Learn more. All right. So with that, I'm going to be quiet for the rest of the night. I will see a lot of you this weekend at Palooza. I'm super excited. And I am probably going to, wait, I'm a liar. Hang on, I wrote this down. Everyone pause. Stay with me. I come home early Sunday. Okay, I'll see you next Sunday. I was trying to decide if I needed somebody to do Sunday night for me or not, but I'll be back here next Sunday. So thank you much. Bye.